So I am making this video for people who are doing the Gaggimate Pro install, have no background in electronics or engineering, and look at this picture and are like, what the F is this? Okay. It's taken me a few hours of reading Electronics for Dummies, color coding with my own special color coded circuit, and spending a lot of time looking at my machine to understand what is going on in this picture. So I've made this video for those of you who are really new to this stuff but keen to mod their Rancilio Silvia, and let me walk you through what's going on in this picture. Okay, here is my more color-coded version of this circuit. So let me show you where all these different colors are in the machine, and how they kind of connect together. Okay, so we're going to start with the main power. All right, so this is the power source that you plug in at the power point. So that brings all of the electricity into the machine. And we've got the, sorry, I didn't have a brown texture, so it's sort of more pink. But we have a brown, a blue, and then a green and yellow. And that's the three wires that will come out of like a main power supply. So let's have a look at where that is on the machine. First of all, this is that power supply, right? This is like your plug that you plug in, and it comes in and it starts here where that screw is, okay? And then it snakes up. And then we have our three cords, so let's have a closer look. See here, oops, okay. That's the brown one, that's the blue one, and this is the green and yellow one. Okay, that's the ground. Okay, and then the other two keep going. The red cord that you can see next to the main cords that I just showed you is actually the red cord that's coming from the pump. Okay, so let me show you that as well. So see how there's this red one here? If you actually follow it, it keeps going down further, and then it comes and connects here down to the pump, which is this thing. And then there's a white one, that's the water as well, the water connector. So that also goes and snakes around the back. Okay, so far we've looked at the main power source, and if we go all the way to the other side of the diagram, we've also looked at the pump cords as well, okay? Now we're going to go back to the main, and we're going to see how it connects to this diagram here, okay, of like a cross in a circle. So that's the diagram for a lamp. So that's going to give you your clue as to where it's connecting to, and it's the main power lamp. So that means this one here that you flick to turn on. I've got a little switch button so that it turns on a bit earlier in the morning. But that's it there, the main power switch. And you can see our brown and blue, they actually go in here. They connect into the main power. And there's 4 different connectors here, or 4 different spaces. So that's where the power goes in, and the thing turns on when you hit this main switch. When you hit this main switch, it also powers up other things. So it powers up anything the red one's connected to, and everything the black one's connected to. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at where those black and red cords go. So actually in doing this, it made me realize I hadn't color coded some of the red bits, so I've just added it. But anyway, if you have a look at that main switch symbol with the X inside the circle, we've got a red and black coming out of it. Okay, let's start with the black. So here's your first black. Okay, the black kind of curls around and connects into this one, which is the light that comes on and off when the steam is ready or when the brew is ready. Yeah. So if you have a look on the diagram, there's another like cross inside a circle, but it's got 2 of the cross sort of quadrants colored in black, and it's inside a rectangle. So it took me ages to figure out what the hell that was, and I even Google image searched that picture and everything. But anyway, I realized it was this lamp. It's a special lamp on the diagram. Okay, so that is the power that goes to that lamp. Okay, and then there's another one that also goes to the fuse underneath it. That's that circle that has the little symbol. Kind of looks like a face, to be honest. 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. Anyway, that one is the fuse. So let's have a look at that. I'm gonna follow the black. It kind of like, can I show you this? Yeah, it kind of becomes 2 black ones that section off, and it goes to this under here. I wonder if I can show a better angle. It goes down here, and this is the fuse, this circular cylindrical thing that protects the machine from going too high in temperature, and it has the different temperatures written on it. This one is 165 degrees Celsius, so that's a pretty significant fuse to make sure that your machine doesn't get too hot. So that's the fuse there. It's also connected to this thing. So it will go off when the fuse kicks in or whatever. I don't really know, but they're connected. Okay, so that was the black that went to the light that flicks on and off depending on temperature. And then this was the black that went to the fuse. And now we've got one more black that goes down to, see this one? This is a lamp again. The steam one, water one, and the brew one. So those are, actually maybe it's a switch, I don't know. But either way, these guys. Okay, that's these 3. So we're going to follow the black. Let's have a look. It has come down, and it's probably a bit too hard to show, but it is connecting to all these different guys. This one is the coffee brew, this one is the water, and this one is the steam. There is a black cord that connects between all 3 of them and goes in like that. So that's that black. Okay, now I'm going to show you where the red goes. So this is a really long red one, and it goes everywhere. So it starts up at the main, and then it goes down to all of our 3 switches as well. But then it also connects to the brew thermostat and down to the pump. So it's, you know, got its finger in every pie. So let's show you where that is. All right. So remember we had our black and our red. So here's our red, and it's going up, it's going around, and this is the brew thermostat. You can tell it's the brew thermostat because, let me just move that. It has a little red dot. Okay, that tells you it is. So that's a reminder of the red cord and the red dot. Okay, it's connected to the brew thermostat, which makes sense, right? Because this is all linked up to kind of turning on and off based on temperature. And then it comes out again, goes down and across. And this is the one that ends up going to the pump from before. Okay. And then there's another red bit that kind of sections off here as well. And similar to before, it ends up going down to all of the different switches here. So we've got the coffee one, we've got the water one, and then underneath that it's a bit hard to see, we've also got the steam one. So that's where all those reds go as well. Now I'm going to show you where the yellow cord goes from the special lamp down to the steam thermostat and the heating device, the boiler. Okay, so that's this yellow cord here. Okay, it's going from the special lamp, remember, and it's going down, across, and to the steam thermostat here. Okay, so that's the opposite one to the Brew one that has the dot. And then there's another yellow line that goes round and down, and it actually plugs into here, which is, if you have a better angle, that is the boiler connection. So this big ass brass thing is where all the heat comes from. And then just on a note, there's one other connection here you can see, and that's actually a little bit hard to see. Let me see if I can come around. That's actually a black cord here. It's black and it goes down to the fuse. It actually goes to a different connection point, fuse connection point to the one earlier from the main switch, but there's sort of two black cords that come out of this fuse. The next one that we're going to look at is this gray one that goes from the steam thermostat down to the steam switch or steam lamp. So let me show you where that is. I actually unplugged this one just to make it easier for me to get to these plugs, which I'd already also unplugged. But essentially, it would have been plugged in here, if I can line it up, like, yep, like in there. So on the other side of this Brew thermostat, and then it also comes across like this, and it goes into the other side of this steam thermostat as well. So let's just imagine that this one is also connected on, which I've unplugged. So on both of the thermostats, and then it goes down, as you can see the gray there, and it actually goes into the steam switch. I don't think you can see, but basically the gray goes into one of the steam switch connectors. Okay, so we've almost looked at all of the different wires on the circuit diagram. There's only basically two more left. One left is just this white connection, and then also the last one is just this orange connection that goes to the three-way valve. Okay, so let's have a look at those. We'll start with the white one. So as you can see, the white is connected to the water, the Brew, and the valve, three-way valve, and it comes back to the pump. So that's essentially, you know, connecting all of the different electronic parts of the water side of things. So let's have a look. Let's start from water. So as you can see, oh, it even connects up to coffee. There you go. This is the coffee Brew one. There's the white. Then we can see another white here. And once again, it's hard to see, but there's, oh, actually, no, hold on. Yeah, no, there is no steam connection. So it's just these two, the water one and the Brew switch. Then that white comes down and underneath and across and up. And that's the one that we saw earlier connect down to the pump there. So that's that white one. And then finally the orange, it's actually coming from one of the Brew connections, and you can see too, it's just underneath the orange, it's snaking down as well, and it's connecting to, actually you got to come around this side. Here, see there's the white switch for the valve, and then there's the orange switch for the valve. So then behind it is actually the earth that's connected to the valve to ground the current, and there's also another earth that's connected to here, so that's where the earth goes, and that's everything. So what you're essentially going to be doing by installing your Gaggimate Pro is you're going to bring in some new connections, and you're going to be connecting it into the PCB, which is like the brain, And so you're going to be intercepting some of this circuit and kind of rerouting or changing up the connections. Like for example, you're going to be connecting this steam thermostat to an SSR. And you're also going to be bringing a whole bunch of different sort of wires from the pump and from the switches and from the valve into this one. So I haven't done that yet, but we'll figure it out as we go and make sense of how all of this stuff is going to connect into here and remain one circuit.